All right, hello everybody. You're listening to Mark Ling, and on this webinar, due to popular demand from a lot of people, I'm covering what I'm calling traffic mayhem. 7+ super affiliate traffic strategies that don't rely on Google. I'm going to do a quick recap of my 6-step method for making $10,000 a month online for those of you that weren't on the last webinar. You're going to find out why even one-page websites can make a fortune online, how to get started making money online right away, even if you're a newbie, and lots more. Okay, so I'd like you to type into the Q&A box. Just say yes if traffic getting. Say yes if traffic getting is one of your sticking points. Okay, I'm getting a lot of yeses already being typed in. Cool. All right. So that's going to be like a really, really good topic then for us for today. Okay? Because as you're probably well aware, if you can drive traffic and you can convert that traffic to sales, then you're making money. Traffic and conversions. Okay? So we'll spend a little bit of time on conversions on this webinar, but that was more what we talked about a lot on the last webinar that I was on. So on this webinar, you're going to learn though how to make a lot of money from traffic, from monetizing traffic as an affiliate. I'm not going to go into too big a detail about my background story because I know that a lot of you were on the last webinar with me. You're well aware that I make a lot of money online, thousands of dollars a day online. I drive a lot of traffic to various affiliate offers. I even make and sell my own products as well. I do both. Probably about 60% or more is made through affiliate marketing. And I first started as just an affiliate. I've been on TV over here in New Zealand for different stuff I've done online. I've here's some more income screenshots. I mean, I don't want you to get intimidated by figures of making over $100,000 in a week and stuff like that and affiliate commissions. I just want you to be inspired and just say, hey, look, I'm learning from a guy that's making a lot of money online. It's better to learn from someone that's where you want to be than from somebody that doesn't have these credentials and so forth. So yeah, that's another screenshot, another recent promotion. So anyway, like I said, I'm going to skip past my story because, well, I'm just going to skim it. I'm going to do it in about 30 to 60 seconds because I want to just get straight into the training. But I'll let you know, for those of you that don't know who I am, like I have been through my share of struggles through debt and so forth in life. There was one point where I was $120,000 in debt. I was driving a Mazda 808 car. Things weren't always as rosy, okay? I know what that's like, and I've also gone ahead and turned that all around and been able to travel the world and do all this awesome stuff, teach thousands of people around the world how to quit their day jobs and make a lot of money on the internet, and I want to see most of you guys that are on this webinar just taking action and making great money online too. It's phenomenally changed my life, and I want to see it change all your guys' lives for the better as well. Okay, so into the training though. Then yes, I am seeing this, but I can't. Sorry for people that are typing into the Q&A box. I cannot keep stopping the webinar though to answer your questions. So if anyone gets upset with me for not answering questions live on the webinar, sorry, sometimes I miss them as I'm going along and sometimes I'll get a chance to see them. Okay, I will take live questions at the end of the webinar though. Okay, so on this webinar I'm going to reveal free and paid strategies that don't rely on Google. Now, Google's a great source of traffic, don't get me wrong, but what I constantly get asked from people is, have you got other strategies that don't even use Google? And to be honest, more than 85% of my traffic doesn't even use Google anyway. Google's great, don't get me wrong, and some people can drive 100% of their traffic from Google, and it can be great, but it's not the only source of traffic. And if that's all you rely on, then if there was some massive update or something, you could be in trouble. It's good to have diverse sources of traffic. Type in yes if you can see the value in having diverse sources of traffic, not just getting it from one place. Just type in yes into the Q&A box. All right, cool. Everyone can understand that. Loads of people saying yes, yes, yes. Great. Good. Okay, so we're on the same track here. Now, as you'll probably be aware, free traffic strategies, and I'll teach you some free ones and some paid ones, they require more of your time. Okay? Nothing's truly free as such. Like, I mean, it's free, but it takes more of your time. Paid traffic strategies are faster, but they might lose you money at the start while you make mistakes while you're learning. When I first started with paid traffic, I spent about $50 and I lost it straight away. And then I gave up and didn't try it again for 6 months. Then I tried again with $150 and I lost that straight away too, and I gave up and didn't try again for 2 more months. Then I got some training and I spent about $1,000 and I lost about another $200 or $300 before I started making money, and then after that, bam, I was making great money from paid traffic. Most people I see doing paid traffic, they don't make money with their first, maybe even up to $500 that they've spent. That's the nature of it. So don't get into paid traffic if you don't have money to lose, because you do wind up losing a little bit of money while you're learning. It's part of your education, okay? In paid traffic. Sometimes you experiment with things that don't work, but then you find stuff that is working and you spend more money on that traffic. Now with free traffic, it's a bit less risk. You're just risking your time, which is still valuable, but it may or may not hurt you in the same way that paid traffic would if you can't afford it. Okay? When I first started, it was all about spending more time. I couldn't afford any paid traffic. But then when I was making money, I started doing more paid traffic stuff. All right? So the key with any traffic strategy though is to learn by doing. Nothing beats experience at all. I could show you everything step by step, and it does not beat getting out there and doing it yourself. Everybody uncovers different hurdles or different little things that go on, and they learn by experience and doing and overcoming little stubborn little areas that need working on, that, you know, I can never predict what different people's mistakes or whatever might be. And you might not make any mistakes. So there's always some people that just like succeed from the very first dollar they spend on paid advertising, or very first minute just about that they spend on doing stuff. But, you know, if you're like most people, you'll make a few mistakes along the way. That's normal. But I find the ready, fire, aim approach works so much better than spending way too much time aiming and not enough time firing, because you learn so much stuff from actually just doing and getting out there. You know, like if you imagine the scenario of you've got two people that have got machine guns, say. One person spends 10 seconds lining up their shot at the other person, and the other person with the machine gun just starts firing and he misses, but he's going to hit that other person in less than 10 seconds, because if you fire early and just use your firing shots to get your aim, you'll get your result a lot faster. Okay? Does that make sense to people? Say yes again in the Q&A box if what I've said so far makes sense. Okay, cool. Awesome. Peter, Scott, Tony, John, Carmen, Sarah. Everyone's typing yes. Great. Hundreds of yeses. I'm going to start with solo ads first, and then I'm going to get into other forms of traffic. I'm going to start with a form of paid traffic first, because this is one of my favorite ones. It works really, really well. A solo ad is when you pay to send a mail out to somebody else's list of email subscribers. Okay? So it's different than paying to advertise within someone's newsletter. It's different than that, in that if you pay to advertise in someone's newsletter, you've got their normal newsletter and you might have 2 or 3 lines of text that link to your offer. Whereas a solo ad is where the entire email, or 95% of that email, was written by you. Okay, the only focus is on sending traffic to you in that email. Okay, so they work a lot better. I rarely find that email ads work. I find solo ads where the entire email is written, designed to just for one purpose, to send traffic to your website. That works better. Now, first of all, say yes if you are on this webinar because you got an email from somebody, whether it was from me or somebody else. Okay? All right, I'm getting a lot of yeses. Okay, great. So you can obviously see the power of email marketing. All right? Almost, there may have been the occasional person that saw a banner ad to get here, but I would say 99% of you came from email marketing here because of it. Okay, so it's hugely powerful. So, and I find that being able to pay to send out a solo ad to other people's lists it's fantastic. It not only makes a lot of money, but it's a great way to build up subscribers to a mailing list really fast. Like if I send them to an opt-in page. Okay, the great thing about solo ads is you can use them to build up your list really quickly, depending on the size of the list. I mean, if you mail a solo list where you're only spending something like $50, then you might find that you only end up getting a small number of clicks and subscribers out of it. Okay, solo ads, it costs money like anything. So you might spend $50, you might get, say, $50 you spend might get you 70 clicks, and of those 70 clicks, 35 of them might opt into your list. So you've got 35 new people on your list. But imagine from those 35 people, you're now making, say, somewhere between $1 and $2 a month. So month in, month out, you will have made way more than double your money back over time. Okay, it's a really good way to build your list. I mean, some people opt for bigger spends. I spend, sometimes I spend over $10,000 a month. I spend at least $8,000 anyway per month on buying solo ads, and I'll end up getting more than 10,000 new subscribers per month from those solo ads, which in turn turns into an extra $10,000 a month in income from those subscribers. Like the first month I might break even, but the second month, third month, fourth month, it's like, whoa, that's all this huge amounts of profit are being made now thanks to getting that initial spend. Can you guys see the value in that? Is this exciting, or does this sound off-putting because it costs money? I'd like to know. Just type in the Q&A box. Okay, exciting, exciting, exciting. Yes, this is great. Exciting but scary, says Jim. Some people are saying it's too much money, but most people are saying it's great. Like, I understand, for some of you guys, it is too much money, and you know what? I've got free traffic strategies I'm going to teach on this webinar too. It's not the only strategy, but it's a very good one, especially if you want to build up a list really, really fast. Okay, because once you've got a mailing list, you can do other things, like you can trade mailings with other people. Heck, instead of paying $50 for that mailing to that other person, you can just say, hey, look, how about you just mail me your entire list and I'll mail my entire list to your free thing, and bam, we've both built up our subscriber bases. You can do other things once you've built a list, and it's a fast way of doing it. So it'll cost anywhere from 30 cents to $2 per click. Usually I opt for buying through people where it's between 30 and 70 cents a click. Sometimes I'll go to $1 a click if I know it's a really, really good quality of traffic. Okay. If they're not charging per click, then you need to ask them how many clicks they usually get on a standard email, and then just work that out. Some solo ad vendors are better than others because of how they treat their lists and whether they get new subscribers regularly or whether they just have an old list that they're constantly mailing to. Okay, so you want to ask any solo ad vendor, like, how are they replenishing their list, and is it, how many new subscribers they're getting regularly, or is this an old list? Okay, it's an important question to ask them. Tip number 1, know your numbers. Write these down, by the way. Know your numbers. Repeat by monthly from anyone you're successful with. So if you make money from somebody, or even if you break even because within the first 20 days of them opting into your sequence, you know it's profit after that. So I would repeat. I always repeat bi-monthly from anyone that I know I'm successful with, because as long as they're replenishing their list, it works out to be a really good thing. I vary up my landing pages that I send people to get people on the list. But if you found someone that's good, sends you traffic that makes you money, keep buying from them until that traffic stops making you money. Okay, so tip 1, repeat bi-monthly. Tip 2, get good at writing swipe copy. So write for the person who is most likely to opt in when they get there, and not for maximum opens and clicks. That's an important tip. Write that down. Write for the person who is most likely to opt in. Okay? Now, there's a big distinction between writing for someone who's most likely to opt into your list than writing for maximum opens. If I wanted to get the most people opening one of my emails, then I'd say something like, my subject line would say something like, "Holy crap!" exclamation mark. That would be the subject line. And I would get 3 times as many people opening my email than what normally open an email, because people aren't used to getting an email from me that says, "Holy crap." And you know what? You could do that. But the problem is, you'll get a lot of opens, but you're getting the wrong people opening the emails, and they're invariably going to be disappointed with whatever you say, thanks to a subject line like that. If your opt-in page, let's say your opt-in page is giving away a free report on how to stop the top 7 most common behavioral problems for dogs. Let's say it's a dog training. Let's say you're mailing an animal training list, say, or a dog training list, let's say, all right, or even a pet care list or a dog enthusiast list. Let's say it's a dog enthusiasts list. You're paying for a mailing to this list, and your free report is something that's on how to stop the 7 most common dog behavioral problems, all right? So if that is the case, then don't have a subject line like "Holy crap." Don't have a subject line like that is not relevant to your report in any way. Make sure your subject line is in line with your report. Okay? So I would have a subject line like how to stop dog behavior problems, or it might even be free report, 7 top dog behavior problems solved, or something along those lines. It may not get the maximum open rates, although it might, but it is totally in line with what you're going to be pitching them, so to speak. And then within the email itself, make sure that the copy and the links drives people in that way. Like, as in, the anchor text of the link should say something along the lines of go here to get your free report, and then colon, then the link might say the top 7 dog behavioral problems solved. Okay, make sure that everything is in line, because then when they get to your page, those people arriving at your page are the people that actually wanted what you had to offer there. Okay, because if you don't get relevant with people, and you send the maximum number of clicks there, you're not going to get the right people on your list. I see people do this all the time. All they focus on is clicks and opens and clicks, and it's like, no, you want to get the right people on your list, the people that are going to make you the most money. All right, I would rather get 500 opt-ins from the right people than 10,000 opt-ins from the wrong people. All right, can you understand that? Is this making sense? Okay, I'm getting a bunch of yeses. Okay, cool. All right. Now, make sure you get on their list too, even if you're only on it for a week, just so you know what they're used to receiving, the tone of the emails, the frequency of their emails, and whether or not one of their subscribers is actually likely to be interested in what you're offering. All right? Now, finding solo ad providers, it's a little bit of detective work. There's no great directory that I recommend. There are directories out there, but I actually find that they are not the best places to go usually for finding them. Usually there are providers out there when you look within your niche. What I do is I'll get out there and start typing in different keywords into Google, for instance, or other search engines. So I'll start finding even products that are for sale in my niche. Look for newsletter opt-in boxes. Okay, look for sites that have newsletter opt-in boxes, and then go ahead and send them an email to find out if they offer solo ad purchases, and if not, would they be willing to experiment with offering you one? And you show them what you're wanting to promote, and if they don't get back to you, then make them an offer. Like I would say, if a starting offer around 60 cents a click, and then see what happens from there. Okay, so quite often the best ones that I find are found from these cold calling type scenarios. But then what happens is you get to know people, and then they wind up telling you about other sources of traffic or other places you can buy from, and then it sort of snowballs out from there. All right, so it is a bit of detective work, but it's really good. It works very, very well. Okay, so one big solo ad key is having an opt-in page with a free gift and a strong follow-up autoresponder sequence. One thing is you should be buying traffic, solo ad traffic. Just being demographically relevant is can work rather well. Like sometimes, quite regularly, I will send traffic to, say, a squeeze page that I've set up for the dating niche. All right, so I have an opt-in page in the dating niche where I'm giving away a free report on, say, 7 ways to make them love you forever, and I might have bought a solo ad from a list that's to do with horoscopes, say. So you might think, well, what's that got to do with that? Well, the fact is, with horoscopes, you might find that 70% of those people are women, and 70% of them are from the USA, and they're aged 40 plus, and that's the exact target market that you want for dating as well. It probably would work with weight loss also. So with big, wide niches, if you happen to be in a big, wide niche, then sometimes just targeting demographically relevant traffic solo lists can work rather well too. I know people in the survivalist niche quite often buy solo ads from political blogs, because they know that people that buy survivalist type products are usually aged 50 plus, and they're usually the type of people that read political blogs and are on political type newsletters and so forth. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So I'm not going to go over this in detail right this second, because I covered this in the last webinar, but essentially when you're buying solo ads, you're just sending potential prospects to an opt-in or a squeeze page. You're putting them into your autoresponder sequence that gets monetized with great offers that convert well, and at the same time has some content-based emails in there that keep prospects really happy as well. And then you take the money that you're making and you put some of it in your wallet, and some of it goes into either building more squeeze pages and money magnets, or into buying more traffic and sending it back through into your system so that you can grow the snowball into something really big. Okay, now before I get on to the next traffic strategy, everything making sense so far? Been taking good notes, guys? Yes. Okay, great. Awesome. Okay. Now, like I said, a well-optimized sequence, it can make you around about 50 cents to $2 per month per subscriber. So, at about $1 per month for a subscriber, you need maybe 4,000 free subscribers to get yourself making $1,000 a week. All right, you can get there rather fast through solo ads. All right, now I want to get on to the next topic. Next one's a paid traffic strategy also. I will get into some free ones later in the webinar too, but for now, I want to get on to media buying. Out of interest, how many of you guys are actually really interested in media buying? Okay, I've got a lot of people saying yes, they're interested in media buying. Okay, cool, awesome. Well, I like to start by being a bit of a spy, and I go to adbeatpro.com, and I use that. But it costs money, so you don't feel like you have to. But if you are going to get into media buying, then you're going to be spending money buying the traffic anyway. So to invest in something like AdBeat Pro, it turns out to be a really good thing, because what you can do is you can have a look at what you can see. Firstly, a whole lot of different places where people are advertising within your niche. You see all the different networks and so forth at your disposal, places to advertise. Okay, and on top of that, you get to see all the best performing ads in those niches, and you can learn a lot from seeing all the ads that people are using to promote different products. Okay, so you can copy your competitors and advertise in the same places. You can mimic the types of ads that work really, really well. It's a really, really handy thing. Okay, like you can reverse look up, a product and see where some of their traffic is coming from, and start advertising in those places to buy your traffic. Okay, now the main types though of successful ads and media buys are basically banner ads. Okay, in essence, I mean, any sort of traffic that you're paying for is a media buy technically, but most people are referring to banner ads when they're talking about media buys. Now, bear in mind that most people are not concentrating on your banner ad when they read it. They are concentrating on whatever article or web page they're on. Okay, they are going to devote maybe 10% of their brain power, just their reptilian or croc brain, so to speak, to looking at your banner ad. So if it's not high on curiosity, they're not even going to look at it for more than half a second, let alone click on it. So it should be very curiosity driven. I'll show you examples shortly. It's got to be relevant, and I mean relevant to your offer page. Okay, you don't just want to get a whole bunch of people clicking on your ad and then getting to your page and not opting in. That's pointless. You want something that's relevant to the page you're taking people to. Keep things relevant and you'll get better results. And it shouldn't feel like a typical ad. Okay, it should either feel like it's part of the website itself or just stand out a lot and not feel too polished. You'll see examples shortly. Don't try to mimic large corporations and their advertising. Okay, a lot of people make this mistake with banner ads. They just try to make their ads look like an ad that was made by, say, Microsoft or one of those other companies. I mean, but they're targeting brand awareness, not just direct response. You want to get people clicking, more people clicking, and more people opting in. Okay, you've got a different thing in mind, so it's really important that you do that. Okay. All right, here's an example of what corporate ads look like the type of ads that you don't really want to make. All right. Now, Shopify, they're a really big company, and it's an okay ad, but at the end of the day, they're targeting a lot of brand awareness as well. Okay, so they're not just targeting getting clicks. All right. So I wouldn't try to mimic this kind of ad at all. It's the kind of ad that people just ignore without even noticing they're ignoring it. It's called banner blindness. You guys heard of banner blindness? Type into the Q&A box yes if you know what I'm talking about there, where you just ignore an ad without even noticing you're ignoring it. Okay, cool. Most people are getting that, what I'm saying there. Now, the ad on the right, that's a smaller company, yet they're trying to do an ad that is... I would guess a graphic designer made that ad, because it's not real. It's the kind of ad people would naturally ignore. I don't think it's the best idea, unless they really are targeting brand awareness as well. It may work. They may think it's working because of the fact that they've got a good offer and it might get some clicks. I'm not saying it's going to get none, but they would be very likely to do a lot better with the more direct response style ads that I'm going to show you in a moment. Okay, now these ads, I've got 6 of them here. They're going to look like a bit of a mess when you're seeing them all together. Normally you would just see one of them and then the rest of the page would be made up with, say, an article or something like that. But I'm showing you 6 really good ones here. Now, all of these are ads that I found when I was looking through AdBeat. So they're all ads that have been advertised in a lot of places and for a long time. Now, these advertisers would not have advertised them for a long time in a number of different places unless they were working and making them good money. All right? And these are I chose these 6 because they are the 6 main different types of banner ads that work. Okay, work for direct response. Okay? So if you want to make great money, like, I mean, if you want to, like, I've got a friend of mine that makes over $30,000 a day from buying traffic. Okay? Now, the big key is that he knows how to make banners like these that sell. Most people don't. They make banners like these ones. Okay? Most graphic designers will make you a banner like these ones. If you've got a graphic designer, you've got to give him instructions. Even from Fiverr.com, you get a $5 banner made, but they'll make them look like this. You've got to give them clear instructions so that you wind up with a banner that looks like one of these. And I'll explain why. Now, the first banner is your typical type of image style, cartoon style, curiosity driven banner. Do you have these symptoms? Like, it makes, because it's a picture, it makes you naturally look at it. And it's a different style of drawing than what you're used to seeing on just about any website. It's kind of interesting, and it almost makes you want to click learn more. Okay, especially if you have these symptoms, because that is linking to a page which is relevant to what is on there. Okay, so obviously you're not going to be interested in clicking it if you're not suffering from those things, but they don't want you there if you're not. They want people that are suffering from at least one or more of those things clicking it. Okay. The next one we'll look at is the grocery stores fear him. It's a really that particular banner ad is one where it's really curiosity driven, and it's an us versus them scenario where you basically got a little copy and a picture of somebody who's basically fighting for you, so to speak. It's an us versus them type copy. Makes you feel like you're on his side, straight from the word go. And it's grocery stores fear him. Man creates brain dead simple system to cutting your grocery bill by 90%. And then he put in brackets, hint, it's not coupons, because most people would probably be thinking coupons straight away. Click here to see it. All right. And notice that all of these have white backgrounds. And the reason for that is when you place your banner ads on a network, most websites, or at least half or more of them, have a white background. So it usually fits in nicely with the website without it feeling too much like a banner ad, because it fits with that background. All right. The next one feels like it's the start of an article. It even starts with the words Dr. Andrew Jones, MD, and carries on from there. Anybody that has a thyroid issue at all and who is struggling to lose weight, their eyes will be their ears will be pricked up by this, and they're going to want to click on it, and they're going to want to read more. Okay, it's a really good ad, and it goes under the radar. It doesn't feel like an ad. It feels like it's the start of an article. It's really well done. I think the way it's done. And it stands out. And it uses a font that most people won't have on their website. So that almost makes it stand out too in a different kind of a way. Okay. Next one, shocking Spanish video. That kind of ad is very easy to make for just about anyone. Yours could be shocking dog training report. Yours could be shocking advice for men, shocking dating advice for men, or something like that, or it could be shorter than that, of course. But basically, like, it's quite an easy thing. It says, if you do not know Spanish, you should really see this video. You'll be shocked. Watch video. So it's for a video, but yours could be for a report. Like, if you do not know how to, if you do not know how to attract the woman of your dreams, then you really should download this report. You'll be absolutely shocked. And then it could say click to download report. You know, and the image on the left could be a picture of a hot woman. Say, this is for men trying to attract women. Can you guys see how it's quite easy to structure that kind of an ad, but it's really good curiosity driven? Just say yes if you think that that's straightforward enough. Great, lots of yeses coming in. I mean, I'm not saying you have to make it yourself. You can if you want. It's very easy. but you can just go to Fiverr.com and spend $5, and a graphic designer will make that for you. Okay, you just have to give them instructions, like tell them what you want, what the words should be. You notice they're all curiosity driven. Each one of them is curious in a different way. The next one, 5 foods never to eat. Cut down a bit of your belly every day by never eating these 5 foods. See if you guys can tell me what is curious about that ad. What's the most curious thing about the ad? Type in the Q&A box. Right, I've got our man from Greenland, and we've got John and other people. Everyone's typing in banana, and some people are saying 5 foods. Okay? They're both right. The banana is probably the most curious, because it's like, what? Bananas, are they bad for you? Makes you almost want to click to find out. And secondly, people want to know what those 5 foods are. Numbers work very well if you want to, because people, they naturally want to fill in and know what that damn list is, those 5 things are. Okay, numbers work well. So there's 2 elements of good curiosity there. Okay, it's a little bit of a pattern interrupt putting a banana there, because people are like, what? I shouldn't eat bananas? You know? Yeah. So, yeah, no, it's interesting. You know, and I'm not saying bananas are bad for you. I mean, I'm guessing what they are going to be saying when you get into the page is they're probably showing how a banana, if you eat it, it's got some nutrients and so forth, but it will give you a sugar drop similar to eating a cookie, whereas there are a lot of other things that you can eat which will keep you satiated or full for a lot longer than what a banana will without having that sugar hit, so to speak. I'm just guessing here, though. That's not the point. It is curiosity driven, works rather well. The next one I like using, I think it's really good, is one where, especially if you're sending people to a free report or an article type page, then you know what, it's one banner. This is all one banner, but it looks like it's 2 articles. Okay, they've just used 2 different headlines, 2 different pictures, and 2 different bits of text. They've made it look like there's a couple of different articles, and it feels like it's part of the website when it's placed within a website, this particular banner. And it's curiosity driven. 15 veggies that kill belly fat. There's a couple of images that draw the eye. Okay, and it's targeting women because it's linking to a product that targets women. Okay, I really like that form as well. It works really, really well from personal experience testing it. Okay, so anyway, when it comes to media bias, there are a lot of networks out there. I mean, you can just type into Google and ask for different media buying networks. There's Ad Sonar. There's MGID. There are dozens of others. You know, I mean, obviously there's Google. Google's got their own banner ad network, the Content Network, but there's other ones out there, several, like dozens and dozens of them. And that's why if you do look inside AdBeat Pro, you'll see where people are driving traffic from to particular offers. So if you're struggling to know which network to join, you know, it may be a good idea to look within the niche that you're targeting and then have a look and see what networks other people are advertising on to promote those offers within AdBeat. You know, they scour about 200 different networks in their traffic networks. Okay, so next thing we're going to get onto is Facebook promoted posts. All right. Now, sorry if I've got a couple of people saying that I'm going a bit too slow with each of these tips. I'm sorry, I'm trying to cover them in detail. I will get a bit faster through these from now on. I'll try and push through them a bit quicker. Sorry guys. So anyway, Facebook promoted posts are brilliant. In one of my last launches of an actual information product that I was selling in the personal development space, one of the top affiliates in that launch they earned tens of thousands of dollars in commissions. They sent all their traffic from their Facebook fan page. Okay, and they did it through what are called promoted posts. Okay, so I thought that, that's amazing, and so it can be very powerful. All right, the quick tips, write them down fast because I'm going to move a little bit quicker. Set up a Facebook fan page. You make regular posts to it. You link within your fan page header area to your own opt-in page. Make sure that anyone visiting your fan page is likely to see that link and have a chance that they'll go grab your free gift from your opt-in page. And then you make regular posts to your Facebook page to build up a history. You do this for 12 days in a row to kick it off. Okay? And then you continue to do it every day if you can after that. But if not, then at the very least do a post every week. Okay? Now, once a week, you create a post that's designed to trigger a direct response. So you post something to Facebook, and this will either be to get them to opt into your mailing list, or to get them to go and visit and like your Facebook page. One or the other, okay? Because once they have liked your Facebook page, then every time you make a new post, even without paying to promote it, it will show up in their news feeds. By paying to promote a post, what it does is it just boosts it to the top of people's news feeds, and it boosts it to the top of their friends' news feeds, or anyone. You can target other demographics, like people that are interested in dog training, or people that are interested in the law of attraction, or whatever, with promoted posts, and it just shows up at the top of their news feed. So use it, Facebook promoted post, to promote your post to others. I recommend starting with a $10 budget and see how it goes from there. Target people who are aged 40 and over, because they're most likely to have credit cards and to buy stuff. Start with the USA, Canada, United Kingdom, Australia and New Zealand, and exclude mobile devices to start with also, because that usually produces lower earnings than from all other devices like laptops and so forth. iPads are fine. It's just, the smaller the device, the less likely people are to buy stuff. It still can work fine, but I would test mobile devices later. Here's a quick example of a promoted post. This is just one that I grabbed recently that showed up in my news feed. Now, it's not a promoted post that's leading to a opt-in page, although it could have been. In this particular case, it was just done by Samsung in New Zealand, because I'm in New Zealand. And as you notice, by sponsoring this post, they have gotten 2,525 people have clicked the like button on this post, 333 people have posted a comment on it, and 106 people have shared this post with their friends. So these posts can go rather viral if you do it right. Okay, Dan Carter, by the way, is a famous rugby player. And a lot of you guys won't have heard of him because you're in other parts of the world where you don't watch rugby, but he's been the #1 player in world rugby for a number of years. So anyway, but promoted posts can be very, very powerful. All right, so do you guys got any questions about Facebook promoted posts? You happy with me just to keep continuing? Okay, cool. So I'm going to keep continuing. All right. So another method is, this is a free traffic method, is participating on forums. All right. Here's a quick example. I just copied it from our forum. From one of my staff members was answering someone else's post. Okay, and you notice at the bottom, she's got a couple of links in there in her signature. Now you could, no matter what niche you're in, you can and should participate on the relevant forums in that niche. And not only will you get a much better understanding of the market that you're in, much better, but also you'll get links. You can put a link usually in your signature at the bottom that links off to your opt-in page. Okay, and you get a lot of subscribers out of that. Now, one really big tip to do with forum participation is if you can get on a members forum, that will produce much better results. What happens is, by being free forums are great, don't get me wrong. If they're relevant to your niche, they can be really, really good. But a buyer lead is worth maybe 30 times more than a free lead. Okay, I would rather have 100 buyer leads than 3,000 free leads, usually anyway, because they're proven to already spend money in that niche, so they're way more likely to buy stuff. So sometimes it's a good idea to find out what products in your niche happen to have a private members forum, and then you go and you buy that product and you participate on that forum, you help people out, you're being really helpful, and at the same time you've got a little signature link at the bottom that links off to your free report. Okay, so it's straightforward and simple. Okay, can you guys see the power in participating on forums, by the way? You know, I know some people that have made over $1,000 a week, and their only form of traffic is forum participation. When I first started, that used to be a huge part of my traffic strategy, because I could only get free traffic, and it can make a heck of a lot of money. Okay, cool, awesome. So people can see that. It takes time, but like I said, free traffic takes time, paid traffic takes money. Okay, it's got to be one or the other. All right. All right, now I'm going to talk quickly about another free traffic strategy, which is SEO. Well, it's relatively free anyway. Now, I promised you on this webinar that I'm not going to be talking about Google traffic strategies. So yes, you can SEO for Google, but that's not what I'm going to cover here. It is actually a lot easier to do SEO for MSN Bing. Here's just a real quick example. I just grabbed this screenshot about a couple of days ago to put in my presentation. If I type stop jog jumping into Bing, and it may have changed by now, it's only been a couple of days, but it should still be there, who knows. But my website, Dog Obedience Advice, came up number 2 for stop dog jumping. All right, and it leads people to my article, and there's an opt-in on that page, and there's also promotions of affiliate offers. All right. Now, in the lucrative United States market, which usually should make up 70 or more % of your sales anyway, Google accounts for 68% of the traffic. Okay, but it is more tricky to get ranking in Google than in Bing. Bing accounts for 27% of searches, so it's just under half that of Google, but it's lower hanging fruit because less people are trying to rank in Bing. They're focusing all their efforts on Google. In fact, Bing has taken up more of the search market. I wouldn't be surprised if it's over 30% in 12 months from now. So if you want to target Bing traffic, well, it is easier. It's a lot easier. Fresh content, having fresh content regularly is not as important to Bing as it is to Google. All right? If I kept adding fresh content to that dog training site, I'd probably still be ranking really, really well in Google. But that site, I've just left it sitting there. So it's sort of slowly dwindled in its Google rankings, but in Bing, it's been going great. Now, domain age plays a more important part in order to do well in Bing. So that one thing that can help you is buying a domain that's already a few years old. You can get an aged domain, write this down, for under $20 from expireddomains.net. Okay, just a couple of years old, even 2 years old. It's helpful. Now, you can use a new domain with Bing, and you can get good rankings. It can just take a little bit longer, all right? But there are other things that you can do, all right? So new domains, if you want to use new domains, by all means, don't think that that's stopping you. It just can take a little bit longer for Bing to build up its trust of your site, okay? But once you get the rankings, you'll be able to continue to get multiple MSN Bing rankings. All right. Another great thing about MSN Bing, no penguin, no panda. Bing's algorithm is just not as complex as Google's, and they just don't seem to do algorithm updates. Or if they do, I know they do, but they're few and far between, and when they do, it doesn't seem to change things by much. Okay? Microsoft has a lot of other stuff going on that they don't get quite as nitty-gritty about their algorithm as Google does. So for now, at least, and probably for at least the next 24 months or more, it's certainly a lot easier to rank highly in Bing. Similarly with Google and Bing, quality backlinks hold weight, although Bing appears to place a higher importance on the anchor text of the links and less importance of the authority of the site linking than Google does. So that means that if you want to do the link building, that it's more about, I mean, yes, if you can get on an authoritative domain, that can help, but Bing places less importance on that. I mean, I can put up an article on a regular free article site, and as long as my page, the article that I put up there, is relevant to the page I'm linking to on my own site, that's rather helpful. And particularly if the anchor text of the link. Do you guys know what anchor text is? Type in the Q&A box if you know what that is. Okay, half of you are saying yes, half of you are saying no. All right, actually no, 2/3 of you are saying yes. Now, anchor text is the text that you use when people click the link. So if the link says click here, then your anchor text is click here. If the text says dog training and people click that and they get taken to your dog training report, then your anchor text is dog training. Okay, so the key is that your anchor text is pretty much the text, or at least a slight rewording of the text that you're going to be wanting to target for the page that you're linking to. All right. So it makes a larger difference if the page you're linking from is relevant to the topic you're on, whereas Google, yeah, it's important, but they do place more importance on domain authority. Like if you got a link from a domain that had a higher authority, like let's say it was from CNN.com, for instance, you'd end up ranking really, really quickly in Google because it's such an authoritative domain. On-page factors like what your usage of keywords and your headline and in your copy itself, they are important for both Bing and Google. So make sure that, obviously, if you want to rank well in Bing for a certain keyword, that you use that phrase in your headline and at least a couple of times in your article itself. Okay? I hope this all makes sense. Right. Now, here's another form of traffic. It's free traffic, but it can be a little more time consuming at times to get it set up, but it's pretty handy. Amazon Kindle traffic. Now, here's a book that a friend of mine set up on Amazon Kindle. It's 30 pages long. I've done this method as well with my own books, by the way. I just thought I'd show you one of my friend's ones that's doing really well. It's about 30 pages long, and even people that don't buy his book, even he's selling it for like $3. But even people that don't buy his book, they click to look inside, and they'll see in his PS on his first page there that they can go and grab a free bonus. So even people that don't even buy the book are grabbing this free bonus, and they get taken to this page where they opt in to his list. And he makes a heck of a lot of money out of marketing to that list. And you know what? He even makes it go in roundabouts, because he will use that list to also promote his Kindle book, which boosts it up the Amazon store, which means that more people are buying it, which means more people are getting on his list, and it has a snowball effect that's worked rather well. And he promotes other products as well in his sequence. So it's a brilliant strategy. Can you guys see how powerful that Kindle strategy is? Cool. I mean, I teach that strategy in a lot of step-by-step detail inside my Affilo Jetpack product, but I'm hoping that you're getting the gist of the strategy even just from what I've shown you there. Cool. Again, just to reiterate, what we're trying to do with all these traffic strategies: get potential prospects to an opt-in page, get them on your list, okay, and then monetize that list through promoting great products that pay excellent commissions. And then the way to snowball it into lots of money is to either spend some of that money on building more money magnets or into buying more traffic. Okay, the people that make millions of dollars online they know how the reinvestment snowball, and they do rather well with it. Cool. So before getting to the most important form of traffic, I want to quickly gloss over some other forms of traffic you may wish to look at later. Okay. All right, I'm just going to gloss over these, but write them down. These are forms of traffic that I couldn't have time to cover on this webinar. I'll get on to the most important form in a moment, but these are ones I didn't have time to cover all of these on this one webinar, but write them down because they may be things you're interested in. Okay? Now that's stuff that I teach all my students, of course, but if you want to write them down, there may be things you want to look into in the future. Press releases. You can do online press releases and so forth. That can get rankings in of themselves, let alone the traffic from the press release itself. MSN Ad Center for pay-per-click. All right, so it's not just pay-per-click and Google AdWords. MSN Ad Center is often a lot better. You may get a few less clicks, but it might cost you less per click, and you might monetize it a lot better. Making and selling your own info product. That's another thing I teach my students how to do. I give that training as a free bonus inside Affilo Jetpack, but I make millions of dollars from my own info products, so it's not to be undervalued, that kind of training. Making your own info product, it's a great way to build a list, because then you've got affiliates promoting for you, and that's a way to build a list too. Okay, but it's important. You've got to know your copywriting so it actually converts, or no one will be promoting you. Running a Warrior special offer. It's not something I'm too familiar with. I ran one Warrior special offer about a year ago, and I made about 2,500 sales, which meant that I got over 2,500 buyer leads from doing that Warrior special offer. It was a little experiment. It worked reasonably well, so to say the least. YouTube and other video sites is another great way of doing things. I teach that to my students with detailed training inside Affilo Jetpack as well, where you discover how to do that. But in a nutshell, you can put up videos and so forth on YouTube and get them ranking rather easily for a lot of phrases, because there are a heck of a lot of the whole YouTube community, lot of phrases that have never had videos made about them, let alone done some targeting to get them ranking. Okay. Click swaps with other list owners. Once you've got enough visitors, enough subscribers on your list, you can do swaps with other people and mail to each other's free giveaways and end up growing your subscriber bases further. There's viral traffic as well through having stuff that gets passed around and so forth. You can enhance that with tell a friend, like within your newsletter sequence. You might say, hey, look, I've got another, on day 5, you might decide to say, hey, look, I've got another free gift to give away. All you need to do is send this email to, all you need to do is send my original free report that you downloaded to 5 of your friends, or something like that. There's plenty of tell a friend software scripts out there that automate that, so that the moment they enter 5 friends' email addresses and click submit and mail their friends, that they get their free gift. And so to speak. Guest blogging, just blogging on other people's, writing a blog post on other people's relevant blogs in your industry, and in exchange for having a link or two back to your opt-in page. That's a brilliant free traffic strategy. Okay. Woodrow, yes, I can see this, and other people that are typing into the Q&A box. I just literally can't respond to everything while I'm giving the presentation. I will take Q&A later. Sorry, just for people asking. Okay, so the most important form of traffic, as you've probably gathered by now, is repeat traffic through email marketing. You're here on this, or most of you, 99% of you, are here on this webinar because of email marketing. Okay, so you must know how powerful this stuff is. It's the most responsive and highest converting form of affiliate traffic. And these people, that are on your list, if you do it right, you structure your sequence right, they buy from you again and again multiple times. Okay? I get people buying from me who have been on my list for 5 years. Okay? But if you don't capture those leads, then you've only got one chance to make the sale, and that's the day they visit your website. So you know it's powerful. You're here right now because of the power of email marketing. Okay? And that's the diagram, not to beat a dead horse, but it's such an important thing that you've got to have at least one of these money magnets, so to speak, at least one, going and driving traffic to. So many ways of driving traffic. And I'm going to quickly recap my 6-step method for making $10,000 a month and more. All right. So step 1 was is choosing a profitable niche, preferably a big and proven niche, and choose good quality products to promote that have great payouts and high conversion rates. Step 2, create a free report that's high quality. Step 3, build a website containing free content, say 20 articles, plus build a squeeze page to promote your offer. Step 4, create a strong follow-up newsletter sequence, one that keeps subscribers happy with solid content, yet it's monetized well with soft sells in your content emails and hard sells as well. Drive traffic to your squeeze page and keep reinvesting. Okay. And common problems are choosing a profitable niche, finding the right products in that niche to affiliate to, putting together high quality content for your list. It can be time consuming and costly. Monetizing your list effectively, using words that sell and sequences that sell, and technical skills involved like setting up an autoresponder, squeeze page, and so forth. All right. Now, if all you want to do is just dive in and start driving traffic using the methods I've taught you now and the methods I teach in much more detail to my students inside Affilo Jetpack, then you're really going to want to just have one of these money magnets, one of these Affilo Jetpack money magnets. It's a comprehensive solution that resolves all of those problems. Okay? So that's why I want to introduce Affilo Jetpack once more. And you know what? I think it's a good idea if I just show you straight inside the members area. So that way you'll just get a rough idea of what's inside Affilo Jetpack and whether or not it's right for you. So I'm just going to log into the members area now. Okay, so Affilorama.com, just press enter there. I might have to adjust my screen slightly so that it fits. Right, whoops. Okay, so I'm just adjusting my screen a little bit because not all of you are on the same resolution here. Alright, there we go. Now, you log into the members area, you can see your progress through the course and so forth. If you're doing the training, you can click on, I've got training through Affilo Blueprint. Like if you join Affilo Jetpack, you get all of those three things. You get Affilo Blueprint, Affilo Theme, our WordPress theme, and Affilo Jetpack. Alright, so in terms of the training, and there's more training with Affilo Jetpack as well than what's just in here in Affilo Blueprint, but you know, it's step 1, step 2, step 3, it's all made very, very simple. Okay, 12 steps, very, very simple. Anyone that wants to watch a video or so forth within there, or just see the written version of them that's real nicely, clearly laid out and so forth, just click watch and you start watching. It tells you what to do, and you actually see me building a profitable website in front of you as you copy along and build your own as well. Okay, and then the content itself, because you can just put up one of our jetpacks. You don't need to go ahead and reinvent the wheel here. Like these jetpacks will make you a heck of a lot of money if you just drive traffic to them. I'll just show you what it looks like. I mean, inside there you get to choose five jetpacks, okay, so to speak, in all of these different niches. Let's say you were setting up one in, say, the I don't know. Let's say it was it could be any of these niches. Let's say it was survival. Say the survival niche. So I'll click on survival there, and what you'll see is inside that niche there's a lot of stuff here. You've got the niche analysis, affiliate products to promote, newsletters, ebooks and stuff that come with it. There's a lot of stuff. I just want to walk you through though. I'll just unlock it first. I'm just going to unlock it. So I click unlock this niche. I just want to show you how really fast and easy it is to set up one of these jetpack sites. If I click build this website, okay, And now we will build and host your WordPress site in seconds. Click build my website. Okay, so it's building the website. Da-dee-da-dee-da. And just about done. And then choose your domain name. You either click to find a domain or you already have a domain. Okay, so let's say for this it could be survivalsecretsforyou.com. I'll check availability. It might be taken. I don't know. See, it's. I want to show you just how easy this is, though. So basically, survivalsecretsforyou.com. Yep, that's fine. I can buy that. So it's a matter of just clicking buy now and buying it. So I'm just going to quickly buy that. I really just want to show you real fast, hopefully in less than 5 minutes, just setting up one of these websites. Here's my PayPal account. And then I'll go log in and logging into the account of the seller for this. Of course, because I'm the seller of this thing. I'll use one of my other accounts. Try that. Log in. Must be the other one. Try that. Sorry about that. It's the nature of doing something live in front of you, but I want to just show you how quickly and easy it is. That's not my shipping address, by the way. It's a very old address of mine, so don't try to send me anything there. But I'll just click continue just to get this going. And it should have bought the website within a couple of seconds from now. Okay, done. It's connected. 48 hours for the site to go live. We'll email you with the login details. In the meantime, I can set up an email address that newsletters are sent from. Let's say it's going to be Sean. Let's say his name's. Let's say it's going to be Sam. Sam at survivalsecrets.com. Click save. And that's done. Enter a ClickBank ID. It's one of my ClickBank IDs. Add track 36. Actually, I'll use another one. Use Nika 2 for this one. Click save. And then it's just a matter of click set up and export your newsletter. It's using Flutter Mail, which is $10 a month. So there's that. You'll have that cost on top, or you can use Aweber or whatever you want. You know what? If you're self-hosting, you don't even need to do any of these steps. This is for people that want to host through us, where we give you a 1 year's free hosting. Okay, and then even after that, it's pretty cheap, under $100 a year. Okay. Or you can move it to your own web host. I'm just trying to show you how quick it is. So I click set up and export your newsletter. This is what you press to put. You know what it's doing? It's putting in. It's putting in 100. It's putting in. Sorry, a. I won't do this step because I can't remember my login off the top of my head. Because I set up a separate one for this particular account. But basically, by clicking those steps, it sets up your entire newsletter series to go up for 365 days, and then bam, you have a website. All right, that has an opt-in page and everything ready to go, and then it's a matter of you customizing the content on that particular page. Now, I just want to show you a site that I think this is the domain. I hope I got this right. That I set up in the last recently for a couple of friends of mine who I've given this website to. Just so you get an idea of the kind of site that it'll generate. Now, the site won't look exactly like this when it generates it. It'll have blank. It'll have like filler text in place instead of articles, all right? You've got to fill it in with your own articles, but I'll show you how easy that is. This here, this opt-in and everything, that whole gift, everything, that is all part of Affilorama Jetpack. Everything is, okay? Even the privacy policy. It's made really, really simple, okay? Even the popover, I'll show you this. If someone goes to read a particular article, look, it's popped over on the screen with why men lose interest and how to be the only woman who truly gets him. Blah, blah, blah. Opt-in. Okay? So it really is maximizing the chance of getting the opt-ins there and there. Okay, and it's got a good article. How is this really good article written? Well, actually, we give you inside Affiliate Jetpack, we give you done for you research. Okay, I might have to go back to get back into Jetpack. Where was I? I was in website setup, wasn't I? There we go. Now, if I go back into here, into survival, I just want you to know, like, we give you everything. You get all the newsletters done for you. I'm just going to click on newsletters right there. Now, sample subject lines for survival system. Subject lines of some of the emails. 3 homemade energy options explored. How to survive the coming food crisis. 10 ways to ensure your family gets fed in an emergency, and so forth. You even get to see a sample of what a newsletter looks like. You know, there's a promotion of an affiliate product at first. Then there's a lot of valuable content. You can view the full newsletter, of course, but I'm just showing the sample there. And it goes from there. And you know what? We even give you recommended writers, people that have written for us before, for that particular niche. You know, or whatever niche you're in, we give you keyword data. You even get to be part of the Jetpack community, people that are posting on our you know, other people that are that you've got for doing link exchanges with and so forth. This is brand new, so you'll notice there's only like a few of them in there right now, but there's going to be more and more. So there's Link Finder, our Link Finder tool. There's you get done for you ebooks that you can use for your giveaways. 1, 2, 3 for each niche. All right. Everything that we possibly could think of is done for you. You get to see what the affiliate products you're promoting. You get this big niche analysis, keyword research done for you. We've done all the different keywords. See, you get to see all the authority blogs in your niche, different promotion methods that work well, how to pick a profitable sub-niche. You know, like some niche, like most niches, there's sub-niches you can go into. Like instead of dog training, you might go into German Shepherd training, or how to stop dog aggression problems might be the whole subject of your website. You know, sub-niches are often easier to target and do well with. Can you guys see the beauty of this particular program? Like, I don't know if I'm really explaining how amazingly good this is on this particular webinar. I'm trying to, but you know, a lot of people tell me that. I remember one of the guys that bought it last week, Dan, was saying, look, I just didn't even realize how good this thing was until I was in there and started building my site. You know, like, it is a massive time saver. You know, if you want to get making money fast, then this is an absolute must-have. Absolutely. If you really, you know, want to make money quickly, then this is a must-have. Even if you're already making money online, you may think that your newsletter sequence itself might not be going for long enough. It might only be going for a few days or something. And you know what? You can plug on one of these jetpacks, one of these newsletter series, and you're you know, you're golden. It goes for a year and makes you all this money. Like, I know how to write emails that sell. Okay, and I've been through all this. It's taken me the best part of the last year to go through all these emails and all of these sequences and get them converting really well. But you know, now I'm, like you saw, I'm building websites even for friends of mine using this thing because I can do them quickly and easily, and they make good money. If you want to know what a profitable newsletter sequence looks like to model it on, you know, get Affiliate Jetpack, you know, so you can see it from the inside, or you know, you can use it as is. You don't just get one jetpack, you get 5 of them, 5 one-year autoresponders. You know, 16 niches to choose from, 90 carefully crafted emails per autoresponder sequence. Just plug in your affiliate ID like I showed you, you're good to go. Push button setup of your autoresponder. Okay, you can host it yourself, you can use your own autoresponder sequence, you don't have to use ours, but if you do want to use ours, you just press a bunch of buttons like I showed you and you're up and running. You know, those are just some sample newsletter titles from the self-help niche. You know, and they go all the way for 365 days because people buy from you even a year, even 3 years after they've been on your list. So, you know, you're leaving money on the table if your list doesn't just keep going. Sample newsletter titles from weight loss, like 5 quick ways to stop junk food cravings, 4 carbs to eat and 4 carbs to avoid, the real reason you're not losing fat, 7 common mistakes that make you fat, and so much more. Okay, so how much does it normally cost? Well, to do it yourself, you may not even do it correctly, but if you did, to do one sequence would cost you about $1,800. To do 5 of them would cost you about $9,000. All right, but you get those all included in a filler jetpack. Here's a quick note from one of my successful students. Francisco Brevoort says, I first got started online thanks to Mark and his training, and since then I've built several top-performing affiliate sites in different niches. I've managed to build a new home, pay it off completely, and build another new home during that time, and I couldn't recommend Mark's Affiliate Jetpack any more highly. Like I said before, you get the reports, 3 reports per niche, plus graphics, and if you've never knew how to make an opt-in page or anything like that, it's all done as part of the theme. It's such a good theme that, gets installed in a matter of pushing a couple of buttons. Okay? And you get the 2D and 3D ebook graphics. They're really high quality, by the way. 10,000 plus reports each, high quality. Heck, you could turn them into audio reports if you wanted to do it as a point of difference. You could go to Fiverr.com, spend $5 and get the graphics changed if you wanted it to have different graphics for whatever reason. Done yourself, each of these reports plus graphics, it would cost about $420 or more. Probably more because we spent over $1,000 on each of them, but if you're going to do it on the cheap, it would be around $420. So, and even at $420, it would come to $6,300 to have 15 of these reports made. But you get them all included in a filler jetpack. Tracy Chauffeur says, I would and do recommend Affilorama to other people because I'm tired of explaining to my friends and family how I make money on the internet. I really quite enjoy that I can work from anywhere and do. You get the one-click website hosting set up and so forth. As I mentioned before. And I didn't mention before, but the reason why it's so easy to write the articles is because we give you done-for-you research, content cheat sheets. For every niche, we give you 20 of these cheat sheets, so to speak. So we've got all of this research done for you that's nice and easy for either you or an article writer to write articles. You don't have to have any articles on your website, by the way. You can have a one-page website that you're driving paid traffic to. That is fine. Okay, but if you want to have free traffic and get search engine traffic or whatever, then you may want to add articles to your website. Okay, or you might even just want to be writing articles as a guest blogger on someone else's blog, and it's really easy for you to go ahead and write quality content thanks to all this done-for-you research. It's really powerful. Okay, so I'm loosely valuing that as, let's say, normally it would cost you $20 times 20 articles times 5 niches for 100 articles. $2,000. Probably cost you a lot more though, in terms of your time if you're doing this much research yourself. Okay, so done yourself, that would cost maybe $17,493. Okay, but Filler Jetpack, it's not that. It's not even 13,000. It's not 5,000. It's not 2,000. It's not 1997. For a limited time on the regular website, it's $997. But for you guys on this webinar, it's going to be even less than that. I really highly recommend that you get in. Okay? So you get all of this stuff, but you also get your money back plus $100 guarantee. So if it doesn't work for you, I'll give you your money back plus $100 out of my own pocket. That's how confident I am in the system. All right? So if you just ask for your money back and you haven't even tried to set up the Filler Jetpack, you get your money back. All right, you can just send an email to get your money back. But if you want your $100 on top, then you've got to just show us that you've at least tried, at least made an effort to make the system work for you. Okay, and I wouldn't be able to offer an extra $100 on top of your money back if the system didn't work. And it's because I'm so confident in the system that I'm able to offer that guarantee. There's an early mover bonus, by the way. If you join today, you'll also receive our top secret traffic strategies workshops. You'll learn much more details about all this traffic strategies that you've heard on this particular webinar. More are getting released all the time, by the way. So that's a $497 value. You also receive a Filler Blueprint, as I mentioned before. It's a $197 value. step-by-step training. Affiliate Blueprints, it's awesome in its own right. Aidan Booth says, I purchased Affiliate Blueprint back in 2008. That was version 1. Now you're getting version 3, by the way, the up-to-date version. And he said, and it was one of the turning points in my internet marketing dream. Within a few short weeks of making my investment, I was already making money. Fast forward to 2014, and the sites I set up using Mark Ling's methods are still making money every single week, and I never even touched them. This is as hands-off as it gets. So the largest commission I earned so far from an affiliate promotion has been $224,000. So he left this testimonial in 2014, as you can tell, has been $224,000 in a single week. And I regularly make upwards of $50,000 from affiliate promotions. And Mark's email marketing strategies and system here are amazing. If you want to make great money online, Mark's products are a great place to start. And there's more. Webinar only surprise bonus to reward you guys for being here right now. I'm going to give you a special link where you can get in for a very short time. The link's going to be taken down shortly. I had some people complaining from the last webinar there, because I actually offered this on another webinar recently, and when I took it down, people were like, well, they were not expecting me to take it down. Well, that's what I mean by limited time. I'm putting it up for you guys because you guys are on this webinar, so I'm going to put it back up, but it's a limited time, $747 to reward you guys for taking action and joining today. This bonus, I can't talk more highly about, the $5 million code. For those of you who are interested in making money by making and selling your own information products, because I also make 7 figures a year doing that as well. Affiliate marketing does better for me, but I still do this too. I do both. I think both are very important because it's a good way to drive leads anyway from making and selling your own products. For those of you that are interested in that, I teach you how to do that inside the $5 million code. All right, you'll see step by step how to make your own little $47 products that sell like crazy. Some of my products are in the top 10 selling products in ClickBank right now of all of ClickBank. These little $47 products. You're going to learn how to make those and sell them and convert. And you even get to see me build a website in front of you so you can build yours along with me in this particular product. It's an unreleased product. You're getting beta access right in early now if you join through this webinar. Okay, so those bonuses have a huge dollar value of $2,944. Okay, the Traffic Strategies Workshop, Affiliate Blueprint, the discount, the $5 million code. But like I said, you're getting everything, all of Affiliate Jetpack for $747 if you join through the link that you see on the page there. Okay. So I highly recommend that you guys get in and join right now. Remember, the risk is on me, because you could just send an email and ask for a refund tomorrow without even opening the product. Or conversely, you could try and use the product and then you could get an extra $100 on top of your money back if it doesn't work, because I know that this product works. I notice I got a typo there. It's not $204,000 value. It's meant to be $20,000, and I'm not sure. I think that last digit should have been a 7, not a 3. But anyway, I'll just fix that up. You get the idea. Can you guys see how hugely valuable this product is, by the way? I tried to demonstrate it to you guys by going into the members area. Usually it's a no-no, people say on webinars. And I'm not going to make it next 15 minutes only. I'll let you guys join. It'll definitely be running till at least the end of tomorrow. Okay? But it's going to be taken down very shortly. All right, this special. All right? It's a webinar only special. Now, usually it's a no-no to demonstrate a product, because a lot of people say, you know what, you don't demonstrate a product on a webinar because then it's almost like the mystery and the magic is taken away. But I kind of feel like I wanted you to see just how powerful this stuff is. Maybe I have taken away some of the mystery and magic by showing it to you right there, but I'm hoping that by showing it to you right there, you can see that this is the. I don't think you'll see. There's not a lot of products on the internet that are done anywhere near as well as this. This is, in terms of a system. If you want a system that teaches you step by step and it includes a lot of done for you elements to make money online. If you want to make a lot of money on the internet, I believe this is the best system out there. I don't know if there's anything better. If there are, they're few and far between. So I highly recommend that you get in and join. All right, I've got people saying, okay, stop selling it. You're going over the top here. Okay, it's because I'm passionate about the product. All right, because I know that I'm doing you a disservice if you don't go ahead and get a copy of the product. I mean, oh God, I use the product myself. I build jetpacks, and I get my staff making me new jetpacks. I mean, I wouldn't do that if this thing didn't make money. It's really powerful. So what I want from you guys is just to ask questions now. You can ask questions about anything to do with Affilorama jetpack or anything to do with any traffic strategies that you're interested in that either were covered on the webinar or weren't covered on the webinar. This was a traffic getting webinar. I want to make sure that I'm here to answer your questions and so forth. And make sure you join right away. Cool. Okay, so somebody says, hey, there's not enough niches in there. And I'm thinking, holy crap, there's too many niches, to be perfectly honest. Because of all the hundreds of people that I've ever met that make over $1 million a year online, I've got over 100 people on my own Skype that are on my Skype list that make over $1 million online. Okay? Of all of them, I would say 99% of them are in those niches that we've got in Affilorama Jetpack. All right? Those niches are the big and proven info product niches. They are the ones you're going to want to be in. Okay? To make $1,000 a week or $10,000 a week from a niche that has $1 billion being made in it every month is a heck of a lot easier than trying to find a kitschy little niche with no info, with no products that you can affiliate to, or not enough products to affiliate to, and try and be a big fish in a small pond. It's so much easier to make lots of money online being a small fish in a big pond. Way easier. Okay? It's so much easier. I hope you guys can see that. Can you guys see what I'm saying there when I say that? Like, those niches are huge. And I teach you actually inside Affilorama Jetpack how to find an angle within your niche. Like I had one guy in the weight loss niche go ahead and find an angle to do with one certain type of diet. You might want to just focus in on, say, a cabbage soup diet or something else. Or you might be in the dog training niche and just focus in on poodle training. There's 600 breeds of dogs there. There's a lot of scope. Or you might want to focus in on a certain location. I know one guy that set up a dating advice website for men, and it's all focused around men in New York City, because the New York City dating scene is different than some other cities, in his opinion. So it's not that hard to get a little more targeted within those niches. But those big broad niches, they've got a lot of proven products that make a lot of money, and the majority of those niches are niches that I'm making a lot of good money in myself, so I know firsthand that they work. That's why I couldn't recommend them more highly, these different niches. Okay, I hope that all makes sense, guys. Yeah, and for someone asking, would the email sequences be appropriate if you choose a sub-niche? The answer is yes, they are appropriate for sub-niches. You may want to minorly diversify a little bit, but really the sub-niche is what you target to get people in. But the general stuff, well, it's not entirely general, each product itself is specific anyway, but that gives you a wide variety of products within that niche. I mean, I could have people opting into my poodle training list, say. So yeah, the sub-niche is poodles. They will still buy generic dog training products or dog health products or a product to do with dog food recipes. They will still buy all of those sorts of things. But in terms of finding my market, getting good with it, so forth. You know, you may want to go through your newsletters and just change the word dog for the word poodle in maybe half the newsletters, and you're done. You know, you've targeted it. It is pretty straightforward. Now I'm just like going back over the Q&A box. Sorry, I've got a lot of people typing in here. I'm just trying to expand it out on my screen over here. Okay, I've had some people saying, okay, if it's this good, why don't your staff get it and stop working for Mark? Well, my staff do make money online. In fact, one of my staff, I was chatting with her the other day. She's making well over 6 figures a year. She makes a lot less money working for me than she does online, but she loves working for me because I'm an open book, and she thinks that being around a guy that is teaching people how to make money is a good place for her to be and run her business from. She doesn't want to just work from home and be by herself. She likes coming into an office and doing stuff and being on the cutting edge. You know, so I do encourage my staff members to make money online. And whenever I have a staff member leave and run their own successful internet business, which happens regularly, not when I say regularly, it doesn't happen every month, but it does happen. When it happens, I see that as a success, because I believe when I have a staff member working for me that I'm part of their journey too. They're not just there to help me, I'm there to help them too on their journey, and as a result, they're more passionate working for me too. So yeah, no, absolutely. I do have some staff members that they're like anybody. They're not that motivated to start their own business. They're motivated to buy a weekly paycheck, and that's fine too. But I do have a lot that are making money online, and that's great, you know, and I encourage that. Some people said, "Hey, I've already got a website set up. Can I join it and apply the strategies from Jetpack to my website?" Absolutely. Some of the people that make the most money with Affilo Jetpack may already have a website, but all they do is they go and put the Affilo Jetpack opt-in page onto their website and monetize it straight away. I've seen people tell me, you know what, I was only making $50 a week with my website, and now I'm making $500 a week because I whacked on Affilo Jetpack onto the site, and now I've got a newsletter list and a sequence, you know. So there's absolutely, you know, that's absolutely going to work very, very well. People that have got a website already, you know, you are at a slight advantage, totally. Yes, I do teach paid traffic strategies for people that are asking, and I'm adding more workshops all the time. Okay, so you know, just to let you know, in terms of traffic strategies, I've got a lot of them planned in. There's several traffic strategies that are already taught inside both Affilo Jetpack and Affilo Blueprint, which you get as part of this offer. There are a lot of traffic strategies, but I've got more traffic strategies that I'm adding as well. I'm constantly trying to keep on the cutting edge of this stuff, of the traffic strategy stuff. I know it's hugely important to Affilo Jetpack users, and it's important to me to be on the cutting edge anyway, because I'm buying a lot of traffic and I'm always looking for more places to get good traffic from, and you know, I love being able to teach that to other people. You know, I don't usually look for sources of limited traffic. It's usually such a scalable type of traffic that it doesn't hurt me to teach it to other people as well. You know, like when you're talking media buys, I mean, billions of dollars are being spent on media buys. For me, teaching you guys my strategies there, it doesn't hurt me. Chances of you guys out, you know, being marketing on the same site as me or whatever for media buys, it's probably low, and even if it did, there's going to be other ads on the page anyway. It's not a big deal. So yeah, there's a lot of training on that. Someone said, will we need to rewrite stuff in order to not be kicked out by Google? Well, no, because for a starter, Google's not the only source of traffic. You could even just forget about Google. Secondly, Google, like in terms of newsletters that go out, there's no such thing as duplicate content. I mean, you can reword them if you're worried about it, because maybe that might become a thing someday, but for now it's not. You can totally reword them if you want to. That's not a big deal. I mean, spend a couple of days rewording stuff and you're golden. But no, you don't need to reword them. The newsletters. Now, in terms of articles you put on your own website, we don't give you anything word for word. We give you done for you research, our content cheat sheets. So you use those as research, and each article might take you half an hour to write it based on that research. You'll look at it, you'll see all these bullet pointed notes, and then you go ahead and just craft an article based on the stuff there. But we don't. That's why we don't give you word for word articles. We want you having unique articles written. Or you can give those to an article writer, and pay them $5 to get them to write an article for you, because you can, a good article writer is going to cost $30, $40, $50, but a bad article writer, ones that cost maybe $5, they are going to be fine as long as you've done the research for them. They're usually bad because they don't do any research. They just rush and write stuff out of their own head. But if you just give them the research, even a low price writer can write a pretty good article that says something useful. Cool. I've got sorry, I usually like to ignore questions that get typed in like 6 or 7 times, but I'm going to answer this one. But okay, I am literally getting hundreds of questions being typed in. I cannot answer everybody, and I'm just doing my best. If you type in a question and shout at me 6 or 7 times with the same question, then I feel like that's unfairly rewarding you over somebody that's typed their question in once. It's just supposed to be a random thing, the questions that I can get to answer. I'm doing my best. But this one, I've decided I'm going to answer this one from someone that's typed in a lot of times, because a few people have asked a similar type question. What's the best way to do forum promotion? I find it very tedious to do. Well, if you're finding it tedious, then I tend to find that it's not a good idea that you do it. Okay? If it's that tedious, all right? Usually, if it's that tedious, then what you do is you do it for a short space of time, then you record some videos, and you pass it on to somebody from odesk.com, and you pay them $2 or $3 per hour to do it for you. And you get them to do it for maybe an hour a day, and you pay them $3 a day. And you get them to do it for you. All right? Outsourcing. That's key. To anything that you're bored by, you pay someone else to do it for you. All right? Now, when it comes to forum stuff, I used to do more of it. I can't say I do anywhere near as much of it now. When I do it, I usually pay someone else to do it for me. But I used to do a lot of it, and it used to be rather lucrative for me. And I'm sort of thinking to myself, maybe I should be doing it a bit more now that I think about it. It's just, when there's so many forms of traffic, you wind up scaling up some forms more than others, and I tend to focus on the paid traffic because it's a bit faster. But I did tend to get better results from sticking to less forums, rather than trying to be on a million forums, sticking to less forums, but posting more on those forums. Being more helpful on less forums is better. You build up more of an authority, people trust you more, and and they're more likely to click your links and so forth. And I think that's a better way to go. Usually the types of forums you want to be on are ones where people have real problems in that niche. So not so much the enthusiasts of that niche, more people that have actually got sticking points, because they're the people you want on your list. They're the people buying products. Okay, if you can get on some paid members forums in your niche, even better. But I mean, it's only better if there's at least a reasonable number of people on there, I guess. But yeah, most of the forums you find are going to be the free ones, of course. So I hope that's helped. Okay, David said, does your system have outsourcing training? I'm just about to add outsourcing training, actually. I've got a 1.5 hour video where I teach outsourcing, so I'll say yes, it does. It may or may not be there the moment you log in, if you log in today, but I will message one of my staff to make sure that it's up there within the next 24 hours, or you can email our support staff if you join right now, and they'll be able to email you back right away with a link to my outsourcing training. I've got detailed training there. That's something I'm very good at. And so, yes, no problems with that there. Okay. Yes, this is being recorded, for those of you that are asking. The reason I'm going to leave this special up till at least the end of the day tomorrow, I can't guarantee it any longer than that, is because I want to mail out, I want to mail out the replay. So yeah, there will be a replay of this. Okay, if you missed the replay, by the way, because for any reason, just send an email to our support staff, and they'll be able to give you a link to that. So yeah, I mean, I hope that I've got people saying, does Jetpack do the landing pages? Yes, Jetpack does. Jetpack will, it can do the squeeze pages for you. If you don't know how to make an opt-in page, bam, use the Jetpack theme to do it. Or it's called Affilo theme, but yeah, within Affilo Jetpack, absolutely. That's the thing. If you don't know how to build a website, definitely get Affilo Jetpack, 100%. These traffic strategies, they don't just work for affiliate sites. They'll work for, your own product site. They work for all sorts of things. Driving traffic to a Kindle book, if you happen to be someone that sells Kindle books, I even teach people how to make money from Kindle itself inside of Affilo Jetpack as well, as a little aside thing that I teach you. I leave nothing on the table, and there's a great amount of support both from my staff and our members community and so forth. The customer support is phenomenal. I think you're going to find that to be particularly amazing when you get in there. So yeah, anybody though that's asked me, hey, I've already got a filler blueprint, can I have something else? Yes, you can email my staff. We'll give you something else. We'll give you maybe the professional edition of Traffic Travis, or if you've already got that as well, maybe 2 years access to Sale Who, wholesale sourcing and supplying directory, or anything else that we can think of that replaces that. Sure, we can do that if you've already got a filler blueprint. It may be that we can't replace it. I don't know. In which case, then that's just, I'm sorry. That's just, we're doing our best. I still think it's an extremely good deal with or without a filler blueprint. That was it's not normally part of Jetpack, but it's part of this early mover bonus for this particular webinar. If you're making good money online, the $747, I think you guys will agree, it's not actually a lot of money as long as it does what it says it'll do. If you wind up making thousands of dollars a week online, then none of you guys are going to think that $747 is a lot of money. The only reason why you're not joining is because there's some part of you that thinks that it might not work for you. I mean, otherwise, it's a no-brainer, right? I'm guessing I must be right there. If you're not joining, then there must be some part of you that thinks that it doesn't work. So I mean, I feel like I've done everything I can with the money back guarantee, with the offering $100 on top of your money back if it doesn't work, and if you still don't think it works for you, then that it's going to work for you, then I guess I don't know if there's anything more I can do. I've shown you the success stories. There's so many awesome people that have done rather well. What else would I need to do? Maybe just type in the Q&A box. What are other things? Someone says, how soon will I see results? Well, that is like asking how long's a piece of string, but if you're sending paid traffic, you could be seeing results within a matter of days from now. You could easily be. I mean, several people do. They'll send a solo blast to a list, and bam, they've made $1,000 before the end of the week. But other people, if you're not doing paid traffic, some people take several weeks. Some people take 6 weeks, and then they get going. Things get rolling, because they're sending free traffic. So, it just depends really on how hard you work it and how, you know, and a little bit of luck to do with, you know, your initial sources of paid traffic. Sometimes you make mistakes early on, you know. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It can get you rich quick, but it's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a business. You know, a lot of people will pay $30,000 or more, go to college, and come out with a job that makes them a heck of a lot less money than they make from a fellow jetpack, which, you know, $747 and doesn't take you 4 years to get a degree. You know, it's pretty amazing. And when you run your own business, by the way, you are the last person in your business that gets fired. So it's the ultimate job security. Money back guarantee period is 60 days, by the way. There's no payment plan. We've discounted it already, you know, significantly already, to the point where instead of having a payment plan of, say, 2 payments of $997 or 2 payments of $747, we've just made it 1 payment of $747. So yeah, there's no payment plan. That's it. You know, like, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys though in the members area. I have had several people saying that they've already joined, so welcome on board to those of you that have joined. You know, and yeah, I mean, I really hope that you've enjoyed the training though on this webinar as well. Did you guys take lots of notes about all the different traffic strategies? I covered like 7 in detail, but then I also covered a further I don't know, 6 or 7 other strategies as well, in sort of like brief detail as well on top. Have you guys been taking lots of notes? Okay, I've got heaps of people saying yes. Some people saying I recorded it. So forth. Yes, plus screenshots. Awesome. Lots of notes and so forth. Excellent content. Awesome. Well, you know, like, I'm really glad, because like, my goal for any webinar is to deliver at least an hour of high quality content, so that even if you don't buy from me, my goal is that you will have learnt enough that you can go away, make some money, and maybe you'll buy from me on another webinar, you know, or at least you'll know that on future webinars that you're on with me, that I like to teach a lot of valuable stuff. So you know that, you know, every webinar that I run, there's a lot of valuable content. That's the goal for me, you know, because I want you back on future trainings and so forth. You know, yes, I'll have a product pitched at the end, but you know what? Even if you don't buy, you should hopefully have taken notes about how I pitched a product, because you can learn from that, because you never know. Like, someday you might be running your own webinars someday, making millions of dollars, you know, or even if it's not a webinar, you might learn a few things anyway about how products are pitched and so forth. There's a lot of reasons why, a lot of reasons to be on my webinars, I think. You know, I hope that you gain a lot of great value from the training, and then I hope that you join the product and become part of the members area, members community, and make a lot of money, and let's all make heaps of money together. But even if you don't join, then I hope that you've learnt, you know, take a step back and learn from the other side of things, like, you know, about how, you know, because sometimes there are lessons within lessons. They're not always so obvious. You know, like, while you're in the middle of getting pitched a product, you might not realize, like, you know what, I can learn from how that product was pitched as well, you know, how to structure a good offer, and so forth, you know. Once you've been on enough webinars, like, I like going on webinars just to see the pitch sometimes. I do wind up buying some of the products as a result, but even if I didn't, though, it's quite interesting to see and learn from. So anyway, another bonus as well that I'm giving, and I forgot to tell you about it, is I forgot the exact title of it, something along the lines of how to think like a millionaire. It's like the 20 traits of the millionaire mindset. I teach you on video, step by step, how to think like a millionaire, so that, and if you adopt 2/3 of those mindset strategies, sooner or later you will become a millionaire. No doubt about it. Like, absolutely. It's you know, people that aren't millionaires don't think this way. And if you think along those lines of the strategies taught in my Millionaire Mindset training product, that you'll also get as a bonus, if you think along those strategies, sooner or later you will become incredibly wealthy. Okay, so I basically reprogram your mind, deprogram it from society's way of thinking, and reprogram it so that you think like a millionaire. Okay, can you guys see how a product on how to think like a millionaire would be extremely important. You know, I hope that you guys can see that. Most people don't. Some people just devalue that kind of a product in their own mind. They think, oh, I've got nothing. You know, they think I think positively. I think I can make $1 million. I think this and that. You know, there's a lot more to it, to the strategy of thinking like a millionaire than just thinking positively. You know, that if everyone just had to think positively, everyone would be millionaires. You know, like anyone can train themselves to think positively or brainwash themselves to think positively for a short space of time. There's a lot of strategic elements of thinking like a millionaire, you know, so that your whole money paradigm is changed so that you will no doubt become incredibly wealthy, and that's all covered in that particular course. Just leave you with a couple of other success stories. I first started with Mark Ling's Affiliate Blueprint product, says Jackson. Thanks to what I've learned there, I've travelled the world, New Zealand, Asia, America. I love affiliate marketing. I've made a lot of money online and now financially free and can do what I want when I want. This is awesome. Thanks so much. Sunny says, my name is Sunny and I'm a good friend of Mark's. Mark has been one of our top affiliates and is a master at his craft. He's been promoting our catalogue of dating products for quite some time and has done well over 6 figures in sales for us, all through the power of his list and email marketing skills. Email marketing is one skill which can put your business on autopilot and make you consistent income for many years to come. I've actually so far grossed over $4 million in sales and counting, and a high proportion of that is thanks to email marketing, both from my list and that of affiliates. I believe a course like Affiliate Jetpack will be completely life-changing for you in more ways than you can imagine. All right, well, make sure you write down that link because I'm going to close off this webinar now. I'm sorry that I haven't managed to get to every single person's question. I've done my absolute best to answer all of as many questions as I could. It's just like, you know, when there's so many people on the webinar, a lot of questions fly off the screen. I feel like I've done the best that I could. Got one last question from someone saying, what social media is your favorite? In terms of social media traffic, Facebook traffic, it's a lot better than, that's why I didn't even mention stuff like Twitter and so forth. I mean, that can be fine to add a Twitter link, you know, retweet link on your content pages so that you can get your posts and stuff shared more. But Facebook traffic and doing promoted posts, that's my favorite for social media type stuff. It seems to do very, very well. But anyway, I hope you took loads of notes about all the different traffic strategies shared. I shared 7 in detail and a further, I can't remember how many more, 7 or 8 or whatever more in you know, sort of glossed over as well. So a lot of different traffic strategies at your disposal. I hope to see you inside Affiliate Jetpack. I want us to all get making, you know, I want to help you guys get making lots of money and so forth. It's an incredible system. I hope you enjoyed the actual demonstration of it and so forth as well. And I hope that I see you on the next webinar as well, because every webinar, you know, I like producing webinars where I deliver a lot of content. You know, yes, I'll pitch a great product if I've got one at the end. And there's a lot of great content as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. I hope that you guys had gained a lot of value from it. All right, guys, I'll see you next time. Bye for now, everybody.